Hello, my friends. John here. It's been such a pleasure reading poetry that I have rediscovered the love I had for poetry as a younger person and realized that in the last several years I have not been reading a lot. People have expressed interest in Gary Snyder, and I have many of his books that I haven't read since I bought them years ago. And I just picked up Axe Handles, which is a collection of his poems that was published in the early 80s by North Point Press. The wonderful thing about Gary Snyder is while he was deeply influenced by Chinese and Japanese poems, he wrote in English, and he was influenced by the style, but then he created his own American version based on his experiences in California and Washington and Oregon and his travels. It's just very interesting fusion of American locations and subjects with a Chinese poetic style. Fascinating. And I had forgotten how good some of his poems were. So anyway, over time I'll be reading a selection of them. But I thought I would read a few of his poems from Axe Handles. I hope you enjoy. Old Pond. Blue mountain, white snow gleam, through pine bulk and slender needle sprays, little hemlock, half in shade, ragged, rocky skyline. Single, clear, flat nuthatch call, down from the tree trunks, up through time. At Five Lakes Basin's biggest little lake, after all day scrambling on the peaks, a naked bug with a white body and brown hair dives in the water. Splash! So if you notice, the naked bug with a white body, that's a direct reference to Han Shan's imagery. On Cold Mountain, there is a bug, a naked bug. And he dives in the water. Splash! That's a very haiku-influenced sort of thing. Anyway, I think it's interesting. Getting in the wood. The sour smell. Blue stain. Water squirts out round the wedge. Lifting quarters of rounds covered with ants. A living grove of ants upon my hand. The pole of the sledge a bit peened over, so the wedge springs off and tumbles, ringing like high-pitched bells, into the complex duff of twigs, poison oak, bark, sawdust, shards of logs. And the sweat drips down, smell of crushed ants, the lean and heave on the peavey that breaks free, the last of the bucked 3-foot round. It lies flat on smashed oaklings. Wedge and sledge, peavey and maul, little axe, canteen, piggyback can of sawmix gas and oil for the chain, knapsack of files and goggles and rags, all to gather the dead and the down. The young men throw splits on the piles, bodies hardening, learning the pace and the smell of tools from this delve in the winter, death topple of elderly oak, 4 chords. So this next one is about a raccoon. Do you guys have raccoons? In China, we call them trash pandas. My brother in Texas has a raccoon that comes into his house that he feeds cat food. Anyway, this is a fun poem. I hope you enjoy.
True Night.
Sheath of sleep in the black of the bed. From outside this dream womb comes a clatter. And finally the mind rises up to a fact, like a fish hook. A raccoon in the kitchen. A falling of metal bowls, the clashing of jars, the avalanche of plates. I snap alive to this ritual. Rise unsteady, find my feet, grab the stick, dash in the dark. I'm a huge pounding demon that roars at raccoons. They whip around the corner. A scratching sound tells me they've gone up a tree. I stand at the base. Two young ones that perch on two dead stub limbs and peer down from both sides of the trunk. Roar, roar, I roar, you awful raccoons, you wake me up nights, you ravage our kitchen. I stay there, then, silent. The chill of the air on my nakedness starts off the skin. I am all alive to the night, barefoot shaping on gravel, stick in hand forever. Long streak of cloud giving way to a milky thin light, back of black pine bough. The moon is still full, hillsides of pine trees, all whispering, crickets still cricketing, faint in cold cloves in the dark. I turn and walk slow, back the path to beds, with goosebumps and loose waving hair, in the night of milk moonlight, thin cloud glow, and black rustling pines. I feel like a dandelion head gone to seed, about to be blown all away, or a sea anemone open and waving in cool, pearly water. 50 years old, I still spend my time screwing nuts down on bolts. At the shadow pool, children are sleeping, and a lover I've lived with for years. True night. One cannot stay too long awake in this dark. Dusty feet, hair tangling. I stoop and slip back to the sheath for the sleep I still need, for the waking that comes every day with the dawn. Ciao, my friends.